Hi, I've had something on my mind, and actually, Jesus brought this to light for me. I've been hearing the term in the clouds a lot lately, a lot. And actually, there's two types of people in the world, okay? And yes, in this whole entire world, there's only two types of people. And when you hear the phrase in the clouds, each type is going to think differently about that phrase. Okay? So, on the one hand, we have, here are the two types actually. There's the righteous and the wicked, there's the just and the unjust, there's the wheat and the weeds, there's God's seed and Satan's seed, there's the sheep and the goats. Okay? So, all through the Bible, there's only two types of people. And although there's a diverse culture of people, when it gets right down to it, there's only two types of people. And this is spiritually, okay? So, you're either going to serve Jesus or you're going to serve Satan, okay? So, when either group hears this phrase, they're going to think differently. So, if you're serving Jesus, the first thing that you're going to think is Jesus arriving in the clouds to come and get his people. If you're in the world serving Satan, you're going to think technologically. You're going to think of a database, computers, upgrading, apps, all that stuff, okay? Now, first, I believe that Apple started in the clouds, okay? They had an app for in the clouds, and everything is optional at first, but then it becomes mandatory. And that is how Satan does his stuff. He sneaks up on you. It's like, oh, enjoy this old sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. And then all of a sudden, it's mandatory or else. You don't have a choice anymore. You're just going to do it. So that's how he traps people. That's how he tricks people. Okay? So, everything now is going global, right? And if that's the sign of the end, that the one world order, one world government, it's a fact, it's happening, it's here right now. It's Bible prophecy, it's prophesied in the book of Daniel, it's prophesied in the book of Revelation. And this would be in the very last days that there would be this one world government. And, Satan tries to copy Jesus. He wants to be like God. So he tries to copy him. But it's to no avail to him, because it's only to his demise, because, it's only, God is allowing him to do what he's doing now, because it's only going to bring about the destruction of this world, okay? When Jesus comes down and destroys it and shows all his power, all his glory, all his might, okay? So, I know that Satanists, they say, they have this term like as above, so below, or whatever, and that's like, what's done up there is going to be done down here, like Satan's copying everything that God and Jesus do. So, that being said, it's also in the clouds, okay? Isn't that wild? Like, it's so crazy, but it's so true. So, Jesus is the king of God's kingdom in heaven. So Satan has his kingdom here on earth. If you don't believe that, you can just go to the book of Luke. Look up Luke chapter 4, verse 4, when he brings Jesus up to a high mountain and says, if you do an act of worship to me, I'll give you all the kingdoms of the world. So if he didn't own it, he couldn't give it away. So, he does own all the kingdoms of this world. He runs the world. You know, he runs the government. He runs all the systems of this world. He's brought technology to this earth. Him and his fallen angels, and he just keeps it going and going and going, and that's how he's going to get everyone into this cloud, is by his technology, into his cloud, okay, which is a technological cloud, if you will. Okay, so so it's being done now, like everything, like if you're in the workforce, you'll notice that everything is going into the clouds. It's all in a central database. When I looked this up, I believe I read that it was a central location where all a central location for storing data that is in the computer and the phones and so forth, and it's easy to get to, like everybody can get to it, so it's just one local centralized location. It's just like, and it's global, like everybody can get to it. It's for the globe. It's the World Wide Web. When you think of the web, when you think of a web, it's not a good thing. It's like you're caught in a web. It's a trap, right? So things are no longer like locally, like even on our telephones. Now you can be at your job and be on the phone, and the phone is connected to this cloud, and it's all, everything is being changed over, like right now, like this year, like it's been slowly creeping, but actually this year it's like crazy. It's like boom, 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 like everything is being switched over. All the apps for this, apps for that, put in your phone, apps, this is all in the clouds, everything's in the clouds, it's easy access. Yeah, we're all getting switched over, it's all global. Why is that? It's because Satan's time is up and Jesus is coming back, and the Antichrist is on the scene right now. He is the Antichrist, and I am speaking about Donald Trump. He is the Antichrist, and you can watch that in my other video called The Abomination That Causes Desolation, and it's in the book of Daniel. He's described in Daniel chapter 11 as the vile man that comes in peaceably and wins by flatteries, and he comes into kingdom. And he didn't have a kingdom of his. He never had it. Was not in politics before, but he comes in by flatteries, and when he gets in, he changes and he turns, and that's what he's doing. Like, this is all coming true. This is all true. He's going to want to be worshipped. It says that he's going to go after the king of the south. Now he's a couple of weeks ago, threw missiles at Syria. They said, the news said 59, but can't believe the news because they don't tell the truth. So, but they threw missiles at Syria, and under his command, and then Syria pushed back, forcefully toward the United States, and then North Korea is involved. I mean, it's going back and forth, and this is what it says in Daniel, that it'll go back and forth like that, and then it'll get to a point where he is angry, and then comes back to his land and turns on God's people. He shuts down religion. He turns on the Holy Covenant. He rolls out martial law. That's the abomination that causes desolation. Encamps it around the holy place, which is religion, and goes after God's people. And that's the beginning of the Great Tribulation. And 3.5 years after that, Jesus comes back. So this is all by prophecy. This could happen within months, actually. It could happen within months. Okay? So the point that I am making about the clouds is that is Satan's people up in the clouds, or you're going to be with Jesus up in the clouds. So how is Satan going to, okay, so now all this technology is up in the clouds, right? So how does that mean? Like, God's people still are working on that, using that technology, because we still are going to work and to pay our bills. So we work on computers at our jobs, and these things are in the clouds, these apps that we're working on, but it's not, that doesn't mean that we're we've made the choice to be in the clouds with Satan, okay? That is going to come when, as it's stated in the book of Revelation, okay? And I'm going to read that to you now. That's Revelation chapter 13. And this is how it's going to turn into Satan's people being in the clouds with him. Okay, so Revelation chapter 13 says, I'm sorry, it's starting to get dark in here. And, okay. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So this is talking about the mark of the beast, which is already here. It's already here, and it is not mandatory yet, but it is. A lot of people have it, and I'm talking about the chip in your, which has all your data information on it. Excuse me 1 minute. I'm gonna turn on the lights. It's getting dark in here. Thank you, everyone, for being patient while I turn the light on. Isn't that better? Okay. So, there are countries out there that, their workplace, they have it in their workplace, and you can't get into your job unless you have that chip on your body, because it'll let you in. It has your license information, medical information, banking. So it have all that stuff. So that's what the scripture says. It says you can't buy or sell. So if you don't have that mark of the beast. So this is going to become mandatory. That's it's always like that first. It's always like optional, and then it's mandatory. So that is about to become mandatory very, very soon. And then we won't be able to participate at our jobs, God's people. Okay? So if anybody gets that chip, guess what? You're in the clouds with Satan. You will not be in the clouds. You will not go up in the clouds with Jesus when he comes back. If you get that chip, you have chosen to be in the technical database World Wide Web cloud with Satan that is going to be destroyed. Okay, but if you choose Jesus, you will not get that chip, and you will be in the clouds with him for everlasting life. See him coming in all power, glory, King of kings and Lord of lords. Okay, coming to get his people in the cloud, all power with myriads of angels. What an awesome, awesome sight. And to be caught up in the clouds with him is the most amazing. I cannot wait, okay? I will not be choosing the chip, okay? So God's people, and I pray to Jesus that he protects me and helps me to have strength. And I pray for all God's people to have strength, because it's going to be a very, very difficult time. Great tribulation, which no man has ever seen before and will never see again. So that is what Satan has done. So now it's happening. He's rolling that out like boom, 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 bang, because his time is up. His time is up, and he's got to get all his people in the cloud with him, because he knows that Jesus is coming and taking his people up in his cloud. See the copycatness of that? And that's what he does. He tries to be like Jesus, but of course we know he cannot touch Jesus's power and glory. And he, being in the cloud of technical apps and the database and the World Wide Web, because when you get that chip, you're connected to the web. You are connected to that World Wide Web in the cloud. You will be in the cloud, and that is crazy. That is dangerous. They can do anything to you with that chip in your body. You belong to Satan, and he could do whatever he wants to you at that point. Whatever. You will belong to him. You will not belong to Jesus. So choose wisely. Okay? And I am going to read to you Daniel, because this is a really good way to close this. Daniel chapter 7, verse 13 and 14, it says, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So you want to choose going in the clouds with Jesus, okay? That is, you're not going to be destroyed if you choose going in the clouds with Jesus, okay? I love you, and we look forward to Jesus coming with all his might, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Praise be to Jesus. I love him, and he loves all of us. So I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.